on, boys? Today we are back with another College Football 26 Ultimate Team video. Now, if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, as we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Also, if you could do me a favor and hit a like on this video as well, that would be greatly appreciated, as likes help push our videos into the YouTube algorithm. Likes also help others discover our content. So if you like College Football 26 Ultimate Team videos, please like the video below. I'm going to set a like goal of 37 on this video, and I know you guys will absolutely crush that goal. But let's get to the reason why you boys are here. Market Monday. So let's go over the content that we are getting tomorrow. Names of the game: we're getting 89 strong safety Terry and Nichols, 89 speed, 88 zone coverage, 85 man coverage, 86 tackling, 88 change of direction, 88 excel, 88 play rec, and at 80 hit power. I don't expect him to change the strong safety market. He's 5'11", so expect cars like DJ Burks, Peak, and Cam Chancellor to remain expensive. We have probably the most expensive card of tomorrow dropping, which will be 89 wide receiver Tyshawn Hurry, 89 speed, 86 catch, 86 short, 87 medium, 87 deep, 85 release, 85 catching traffic, and at 89 excel. He is 6'2" and will get silver takeoff. He is going to cost a pretty penny. We have left edge Remason Thomas, 85 speed, 87 excel, 83 power, 89 finesse, 85 block share. Should be a really solid card. We have Harrison St. Germain, which is a tight end. He's basically like equivalent to Martellus Bennett. We have 88 will linebacker Derek LeCaptain, 86 speed, 84 block share with that 88 zone coverage. He's 6'2", another will linebacker. So expect Boodum Jock price to continue to tank. And last but not least, we have a right guard, Talik Lockett. Expect Marshall Yonder to continue to tank in price. Now, I want to show you guys the content schedule for the week. We have names of the game, which is dropping tomorrow. Mainstays, which is dropping on Wednesday. That will be the final mainstays drop. Look for stars of the week to start next week. We have season 2 LTDs on Thursday, college kickoff volume 2, and alumni volume 7. This is going to be a really light week. I believe they're going to go out all next week due to the opening weekend of college football. It should be an absolute doozy of a content. So we should find multiple ways to stack our coin up to get ready for next Friday. Now I'd like to talk to you boys about how I made roughly 10 million coins last week. Now, last video I was at 12 million. I made a lot of coins as I sold a lot of my investments. I invested into 90 and 89 Makai Lennon. They drastically went up in price, and I was able to sell both of my investments with those cars. I was able to sell Boodum Jock, who I invested in. He went up in price. I was also able to get rid of 88 Anthony Hill. I pulled Jalen Hurts twice. I've pulled Rod Woodson. I pulled a lot of Ken Dorsey's. I pulled one Terry Moore, and then I've also pulled a lot of Chris Harris Jr.'s due to rerolls. Doing the rerolls. You know, a lot of my coins come from me just working and flipping the market. One of the things I do like to do is I like to play online and stack my natty packs, open them, and then roll training and sell cards that way. That is a great way of making coin in this game, is winning your natties or winning your extra credit modes. Taking everything that is under an 87 overall and just quick selling it and rolling training, and then whatever cards you pull, not every card is profit, but majority of the cards you pull will profit, and you sell them, and then you just add to your coin stack. When you complete a perfect Campus Legends season, I make 138K on top of the training or whatever else I can pull in the natty pack. So say you get lucky and you can pull an 87 that sell for 200K. You add that 200K on top of the 138K. That's 338K, and then you quick sell everything else for training, and say you roll and then you hit big on the roll. You can easily make 500 to 700, 800K from one national championship. So that is something that you guys are going to want to look in when it comes to getting cheap, or I say easy training, and then just rolling the rerolls. But let's head to the auction, because that's what I want to talk about first. So I want to head over to the 90 overalls, right? So let's head over to the 90 overalls. Right now we have our guy, Garen Gilbert. He's going for 576K. I love this as an investment for anywhere under 500K. He's in packs until Thursday at 1:30. So if you can get a couple under 500K, I would. If you could get him as close to 500K, I would. This is a card I definitely see to rise up this weekend due to the gauntlet. He is the only 90 speed free safety in the game, and I believe, and he could also hit 90 and 90 in both zone and man, which is absolutely phenomenal. This is going to be a card you definitely going to want to add to your team. Then you have Makai Lennon down here, who actually just sold right now for 1.5. This is a card that you definitely want to get rid of. Now, there is a little bit of risk to this card due to the fact that you can get banned for selling this card. But this is a card I definitely would look to get rid of with Hurry coming out tomorrow. He's taller than him. He gets silver abilities. This card is faster than him and gets bronze abilities. By the end of the day, the game is ability based, and silver takeoff, bronze takeoff, and the height. Give me Tyshawn Hurry any day over this 90 Makai Lennon card. Now, when it comes to the quarterback market, last week, things kind of changed. We did get this Drew Alar card last Wednesday. Now, on Wednesday, he was going for 131K. He was absolutely phenomenal training. As you see, he's all the way back up to 193. This is a card I would definitely sell and then look to buy back Wednesday for that 130, 120K range. I told you guys last Monday to sell your AJ Swans and Cordell Stewarts when they were going to 400K. Hopefully you guys listened to me and sold both of those cards. I also told you guys to get rid of your 88 Lenore Sellers, who was selling for 500 and 600K on Monday due to the 89 Lenore Sellers dropping, which that did drop. Now, DJ Lagway dropped on Friday. This isn't a card I wouldn't invest in because he doesn't have a good release. He has a sense pressure trait on Paranoid, and he doesn't throw tight spiral. This is a card, if you pull, I would look to sell immediately. Now, Aronson Maiden is an interesting card. I'm not the biggest quarterback investor in the world, but I can see a world in which this card goes up in price. I do think he's the second best quarterback in the game because of the speed and the elite throw power from this card. Now, the only negative would be is they drop a quarterback this week, but I don't think we see a quarterback. I know we're not going to see one tomorrow. I don't think we see one on Wednesday or Thursday. So this is definitely a card I would look to get rid of. I mean, not get rid of, but to kind of invest and head into the weekend and look to profit maybe 200K on him. The 89 Sellers is a card that I would also like to get rid of. I just wouldn't get caught holding on to this card because at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts is the most sought after quarterback in the game. He is by far and away the best quarterback in the game. And if you are looking to pick up Jalen Hurts, I would wait until Friday, Saturday, where I can see his price tank to like maybe 5 to 400K. Just be patient with this card. Please do not spend 900K on him. Just kind of wait for the market to kind of settle out when people continue to roll training and chase the other new cars that are coming out. Not much has changed in the running back position as you have Jam Miller going for 217 and you have Quintavion Wisner going for 231K. These are two cars I would definitely look to sell, especially Jam Miller with the new names of the game coming out. People are going to be rolling for the new cars, and Jam Miller is going to be flying out of packs. You could definitely see his price tank tomorrow. I definitely could see a world in which this car drops to 150, maybe 140K. Quintavion Wisner is another card on Friday. I can definitely see him dropping price anywhere between 150 and 130K. These are cards I would definitely look to sell. Devin McCoby, I mean, he just is what he is. He's just a rental running back. I'm not a big fan of this card. Now, let's talk about the two elephants in the room, Toby Gerhart and Adrian Peterson. Now, Toby Gerhart is out of packs on Wednesday. I like this as an investment. If you can get any Toby Gerharts under 400K, I love Toby Gerhart's under 400K. I do believe he's the second best running back in the game. He also is the only running back in the game currently to get the silver armbar ability, which is one of the most broken abilities in the game. So if you can pick up Toby Gerhart under 400K, this is a card that I absolutely love for the price. Now, Adrian Peterson tanked in price due to people thinking that Melvin Gordon was coming out on Sunday. Adrian Peterson tanked all the way into the low 300Ks. Well, voila, he's already up 100K. If you'd have bought a couple of these Adrian Petersons at the 330K range, you're already up probably like 70, 80K a pop per Adrian Peterson. ULTD, Ultimate LTD, Adrian Peterson was going for about 600K. If you would have brought the ones for 600K, you could easily flip for 900K, and that's probably like a 270, 280K profit. Those are things that you want to look at on the market and take advantage of people's panic selling. Now, the wide receiver position is a little stacked. Now, we have Golden Tate and Wingo both going for the 220K range. I don't expect their prices to stay this high, especially with Hurry coming out. That lets me know that there's going to be kind of a wide receiver heavy week. These are definitely cars I would definitely look to sell and profit on because I think they will tank in price come next week, especially Wingo. Wingo is the card out of all of them that I can definitely see tanking in price because at the end of the day, Wingo's release compared to Golden Tate is not as good. I would definitely love to pick up that Tyshawn Hurry card tomorrow and replace Wingo personally. Now, Mojo Dortch is going for 400K. This is definitely a card I would like to get rid of. If you do have him, sell him for 400K and look to buy back in the low 300s during the week. You have regular LTD Randy Moss going for 420, and so is Josh Cameron. I never liked Josh Cameron as an investment due to the fact that his price fluctuates so much. Like 1 minute he's low, 1 minute he's high. I look at him as a risky investment. If you do have Randy Moss, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would sell and then look to buy back later in the week. Cornell Tate is down to 489K. Earlier, this card was selling for 660K. This is definitely a card that I would get rid of and look to buy back later in the week. Chase Roberts is going for 600K. This card is out of packs on Wednesday. I don't like this card as an investment. Yes, he is a tall wide receiver, but he does not hit the deep route running threshold at all. He's kind of mid stat wise, but if you can kind of pick any of him up for under 500K, I would pick up a couple just to look to flip. I do think he can kind of raise in price. Mekhi Lennon is 89 is a card I'm definitely looking to get rid of, especially with Tyshawn Hurry coming tomorrow. 660K for a 5'11" receiver is not bad. And then Ultimate Boss Randy Moss is going for 900K. This is a card I definitely would look to sell. I could sell for 900K and then just go buy the regular Randy Moss for 400K and then pocket about probably like between 440, 480K. That's definitely something that I would look to do personally. Is just take the profit of this Balls version of Randy Moss and just go buy the little Randy Moss. It's really not much of a difference of a car outside of the +1 speed and the discounted abilities, and most people aren't even using 7 AP bronze takeoff on the Balls Randy Moss anyway. Now, when it comes to the right edge position, this is a position that is absolutely stacked in the game. Hugh Green will continue to tank in price, but I can definitely see a world in which his price rebounds over the weekend. I do not recommend investing in champion cards. I repeat, I do not recommend investing in champion cards because they can get pulled out of rerolls. Now, what you want to do is you want to wait for cards like this to shoot up in price and then rerolls to pull them to sell. That is what you want to do. You don't want to invest in any type of champion level cards. We only invest in LTDs because they're only in packs for a week. And once they're out of packs, there is no way to pull them. Now we have the Julius Peppers card going for 341K. Then we have Boss ULTD DeMarcus Ware going for 399K. And then we have Boss DeMarcus Ware going for 110. I don't believe he's selling for 110. I do believe he's selling between the 7 and 900K range. You can sell him and just pick up regular DeMarcus Ware, and then you could pocket maybe like 300K, which isn't a bad idea. When Julius Peppers was going for 440K over the weekend, hopefully you guys sold because you could easily buy back now just as a 90K rental. That is something that I would have done, but at this stage of the game, there's no point in selling your Julius Peppers off. And when it comes to the D tackle position, it is one of the weakest positions here in cut. I told you guys that I love Glenn Dorsey as an investment last week. If you could have brought as many as possible between the range of 270 and 290, you'd probably pop in off 50 to 70K per Dorsey that you resell now. This is definitely a card that you can sit on, and I think that will continue to raise in price over the weekend. I think what I would do is if I invested in him, I would look to kind of flip him for 400K this weekend. I will continue to hold steady because we're not getting any D tackles tomorrow. I doubt we get a D tackle on Wednesday, and I doubt we get one on Thursday or Friday. This is definitely a card that's going to shoot up in price over the weekend due to the gauntlet. When it comes to the wheel position, Budum Jock was going for a lot of coins last week. I told you guys that Budum Jock I thought was one of the most phenomenal investments of last week. Hopefully you guys listened and you guys brought a couple and was able to profit. Boodum Jock shot all the way up into the 900K range before they announced Carlos Dansby on Saturday night, which Boodum Jock tanked in price. He is now 435K due to Carlos Dansby. We also have another 6'2" will linebacker that's coming out that's literally the same speed as Boodum Jock and Carlos Dansby. This position is starting to get absolutely muddy. So there isn't a bad idea of just selling your Boodum Jocks for 435K and then buying Carlos Dansby for 194K and just pocketing like 200K to your bankroll, because they're literally like the exact same card. I mean, 86 speed. Carlos Dansby has +1 block share. They have the same tackle. Boodum has +1 pursuit, and they both have 88 zone coverage, and they're both 6'4". They're the exact same card, so why not just cash out on Boodum Jock for the 435K and then get a Carlos Dansby for 190 and just pocket yourself 200K. Now, when it comes to the Mike linebacker position, it is probably one of the weakest positions outside of D tackle in the game. You have weak selling for 212K. This is definitely a card I would look to get rid of. He will continue to tank in price. I think that he can fall as low between 150 and 170K come Friday, so it isn't bad taking your early profit. And then we have Kayvon Thunderbird. This is a card that I love. If you can buy as much as you can under the 900K range, I can definitely see this card shooting up into Makai Lennon territory of 1.5. He's +2 speed over every Mike linebacker in the game, and he also has 89 zone coverage, meaning that he's one of the only linebackers in the game to hit that 90 zone threshold. This card is absolutely phenomenal. Even though he's 6 foot, he's just absolutely phenomenal, and I've been picking as many up as I can that's under the 900K range, and I'm looking to hold him into the weekend, and that's when I'm looking to make profit off of Kayvon Thunderbird. The same position is, again, another weak position and cut, as Gabe Jacobs has shot up all the way to 415K, and then 88 Anthony Hill is selling for over 600K. Now, I sold my Anthony Hill 88 for 660K on Friday. My Gabe Jacobs, I'm probably not going to sell, to be honest with you guys, even though he's going for 415K. It's kind of one of those, if I sell him, I'm going to have to get another Sam linebacker to make my 50 out of 50 theme team, and I kind of don't want to have to do that, so I'm keeping mine. But it's not a bad idea for you guys to sell your Gabe. You could actually sell this Gabe Jacobs and then go buy the 87 Anthony Hill for damn near rental, and they're literally the same card. So you can profit that way, but it's kind of just depends on what you want to do for your coin. But selling 88 Anthony Hill for 600K is not a bad idea at all. Now, the cornerback position is overly crowded and expensive at the moment. You have Exodius Ayers selling for 250K. I kind of can't stress this enough that this is a card that I would definitely look to sell, as he will tank in price tomorrow. I think you can buy this card anywhere between the 180, 190K range tomorrow. You have Ashton Stamp selling for 318. This is definitely a card that is going to tank in price on Wednesday. I wouldn't mind selling this card and then going to go buy Exodius Ayers tomorrow and profiting in that way. I'm not a big fan of Aqib Talib at all in this game. You have regular LTD Charles Woodson going for 400K. This card was as low as 300K on over the weekend. Hopefully you guys brought a couple just to flip. Travis Hunter is down to 425K. Again, I'm not a fan of that Travis Hunter card. Then you have Damani Jackson, who's going for 89 speed. I look at him as a risky investment. I mean, yes, he's one of the fastest cornerbacks in the game, but at the same time, he can also not get house call ability at all. So I kind of don't value him as I would value Rod Woodson, who's currently 579. I was able to pull two Rod Woodsons. I pulled one yesterday and I pulled one today in training, and I sold the one yesterday for 700K, and then I sold the one today for 597K. So this is a card that you could look, if you really want to add this card. I think he will be as close to rental price by Friday. So if you really want to Rod Woodson, I would look in the 300K range, but I would just be patient and wait for the Friday to hit in order to add this card to my team. Now, when it comes to the free safety position, I'm not the biggest fan of Ike Larson at all. He's a 5'11 free safety, and he will continue to tank in price. Now, Tyler Johnson is all the way up into the 400K range. I kind of can't stress this enough, as this is a card that you're going to want to look to offload now because the free safety position is overly crowded. Terry Moore, I love as an investment if you can buy him under 400K. If you can get a couple under 400K, this is an absolute great investment. You can actually run this card at cornerback, or you can run them at strong safety. It kind of just depends on what you want to do. I picked up one for 360K, and then I picked up another one for 395K. I would look to flip those cards over the weekend. I'm hoping to flip him in the 700K range. It wouldn't shock me if he also got as high as 800K, but I'm looking to flip this card over the weekend for Gauntlet, definitely. And last but not least, the strong safety position, as Antoine Peak is still going for 440K. DJ Burks is going for 570K. And then Cam Chancellor is going for 659K. And then Boss Cam is going for 1.41. With Boss Cam, I would definitely sell for 1.4. And then I would just go buy this Cam right here. And then I think, what are you pocketing? Almost about 700K. That's not a bad haul. I mean, the only difference between this Cam and that Cam is the +1 speed and the fact that this Cam gets discounted abilities and this one don't. I don't think it's worth it at this stage of the game. So I would definitely sell this one and look to pick up this Cam and pocket the 700K. DJ Burks is a card I would definitely look to get rid of. Also, he's going for 579K. I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. And you always tactically downgrade on these positions as well. There's other safeties that you can use that are kind of way cheaper, like Brian Dawkins. You can use AJ Halsey. There are definitely ways to tactical downgrade while still not really tactical downgrading from the importance of your team. So if you have any of these cards, I would look to sell now while their prices are high. There's no way that these guys stay this price forever. Now, when it comes to rerolls are one of the most profitable things to do in the game. Again, what I like to do is I like to play head-to-head seasons, win natty packs, extra credit mode, win natty packs, and then I like to use the training that I get from those packs and roll the training packs. Now, what the key is to do is you sell everything under an 87. You sell the 87, 88, 89s for coins, and then everything else you quick sell, and then you roll these. The most profitable reroll right now is the Alumni 88 Plus Training Pack. Now, you're going to come at me and say, well, Mikey, this roll is almost 1,000 more training than the rest of the rolls. That is correct, but you can pull absolute fire out of this roll. You can pull Gilbert, you can pull Moore, you can pull Jalen Hurts, Rod Woodson, and the Season 2 Alumni 88s, they go for a lot of coins. So you're going to make profit off this roll. Like, you cannot not profit from this roll. Now, you can profit from the college kickoff 88 roll, but you would have to pull Wingo, Weeks, or Wisner, or one of the LTDs to profit. Now, you can also profit off the main stage roll. This roll is very profitable outside of pulling the left end or the right end from Tennessee. And then the name of the games one is very profitable with Jan Miller and the boys being over 200K. So you do have options, but I do still think the Alumni 88 Plus trainer roll is the best bet of the best bang for your buck for the simple fact that you can get the Season 1 LTDs in this pack. That pretty much does it for Market Monday this week. Again, my favorite investments are Kayvon Thunderbird under 900K, Terry Moore under 400K, Gilbert under 500K, and then I also do like Arrington Maiden if you can get him under 500K. These are cards that you're going to hold through the weekend where the market will go up. I do think a market crash is coming, and I do think that market crash is coming next week when lockers open. I think people are going to chase those 8-player locker cards, and the market is going to crash super duper hard next weekend as people chase those cards and open lockers, as the lockers aren't B&D, so that means that cars will be flooded on the market, meaning that the more supply equals the less demand, and the market will start to go down. So that is something that you guys want to keep in mind, that next weekend, preferably, I think the market will significantly go down. So again, it's not a bad time to sell a lot of your cars before next Friday get here. Now, I'm not telling you to sell your team. I tell you guys this all the time. Please do not sell your team. I don't think it's ever worth it to sell your team, because every time you have to sell your team, you look to buy back your team, and then the players that you sold for cheap, you're going to end up paying more than what you sold them for to buy them back. So never sell your team. Just tactically downgrade on expensive positions. That is my best advice for you boys. So until next time, boys, peace.